How's it going, everyone? I'm Honan,
I'm Oliver.
and today is the K-pop podcast. Yes, every day. It's today.
Yes,
it's
today is a day,
Today's
the
a
day that
day
this
in
will
the
be
week.
released
Yes,
sometime. Yeah,
it's always
um,
usually the next day.
sometimes, not always.
Sometimes, yes.
Um, so obviously your backdrop is different. You have
Yes, I have
moved.
moved.
You've been put into a cell,
Yes, this
but they
is
were kind enough to give you a window.
maybe I'll get a K-pop shelf in my cell in the future. We'll see.
Yeah,
The window
and
kind of
of
makes
course
that difficult.
you are coming to this land to visit me.
Yes, I will
You
be
are
visiting
venturing
Seoul.
eastwards, and we're very excited about it.
Yes, the next episode you guys will see will actually be me and Oliver in Seoul.
Yeah, you're gonna get a not live, but well, we might do it live if we
Yeah, like a
can work it
karaoke
out.
live or something might be
Like,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, that might be fun.
Just
But
singing
we'll see.
Norizo songs for like
Hell
an
yeah,
hour.
we gotta work on our choreo a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, usually we'll start things off with the news bulletin. I guess the biggest news of the week is probably the tabloidy dating news, right?
Yeah.
Like Jenny and V spotted holding hands in Paris, fairly fairly brazenly, which was kind of nice. Like they weren't trying to hide or anything.
Yeah. Do you
Um,
think maybe in
just
Paris they
walking
just didn't
around.
think they were gonna get like pictures taken
I
of
don't know.
them?
There was a thing like where V was stopped like the same night, like in the same outfit and was asked for autographs and signed
Okay,
them.
yeah. I
Like
mean,
I'm pretty sure they knew they were just like fuck it. The one thing that made me laugh about it is that you get this clip of them walking along holding hands, and then you get the picture of the manager, like Charlie Brown, walking behind them. He's like, yeah, just let me know if you need anything, guys. I'll be right here. I'll be right here.
just
So
being
that
the
must be
awkward
such a
third
weird,
wheel.
like such a weird part of the job, like not being able to leave them alone, like. And I like the idea of the two managers from each company being like, "Hey, you take this one. I'll take it. You get a coffee. I'll watch
Yeah, it's weird
watch
to me
these
that
lovebirds."
either one has to even be around them
Yeah,
at that moment. It's-
yeah. But we did see. Oh, this is a great segue, me. Come on, we did see a example in which like security and stuff is kind of necessary. Where at the recent Gucci event in Seoul, which looked so cool by the way, like they had it like at the one of the palaces here, so it's like this really cool like
oh yeah, I've
traditional
seen
backdrop
pictures
and
of
stuff.
that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So this I think she's from Thailand or Malaysia, but I think she's ethnically Chinese. I might be wrong on this. An influencer lady who was there, she greeted IU, and obviously being in the presence of IU is like a lot for any kind of mortal. But she gripped her hand like this, like quite tightly, like and not wanting to let her go. And I use like kind of visibly like, yo, what are you doing? kind of thing. And she looks, she's like smiling, but she's like, hello. And her bodyguard, like her famous
Mm-hmm.
bodyguard, the
That
dude
super
who's like
tall
been,
dude. Yeah, I've seen him.
yeah, he's like gets his way, and he's like, hey, yo, none of this. Like, and so it does make you appreciate, sometimes even at event like really public press events like that, people can just be a bit odd.
It's funny because it's someone else who was like invited to the event,
Right.
and like it's kind of like
Yeah.
a very strange interaction.
Yeah. Although from what I gather, she's apologized on social media and she sent like an apology thing to her company and stuff. So just a weird moment. Hopefully nothing more than that. But and also we saw the dangers of security. Man, I'm on fire with these segues. Holy shit. So this I think it's NCT. Bro, I'm setting up another segue already. This is unbelievable. Anyway, there's an NCT bodyguard. He like this was back in like February. He like there's a video of him like slamming this fan into
Yeah.
like a wall in an airport. Did you see this?
Mhm.
Yeah, though like it's to be fair, I love that they would take action because you've seen like the airport mobbing videos with assassins
Yeah,
and shit, and
the fans go
going
way too far
crazy.
sometimes.
Yeah. But then, to be fair, this girl was kind of standing back, like she wasn't pushing or anything. She was just kind of standing there, and he just fucking like throws her the thing. But she apparently cracked a rib, and now she's suing it. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
She's
terrible.
she's suing him for assault. Well, obviously it sucks because obviously he didn't intend to seriously hurt her. And I do feel like maybe he directed the strength of his actions at the kind of wrong person. Maybe she done something before, we don't know. But what sucks is that, ostensibly this is a lawsuit that she can win, and that doesn't spell good news for security in the future if they're afraid of, pushing people out of the way because trying to protect the artist if they're worried that they'll catch an assault charge. So it's a bit of a murky territory.
Yeah, this is a bit of a conundrum on that.
Yeah. But then
I mean, how much force? I mean, I remember seeing that clip. I didn't think there was enough force to crack a rib, but I guess if she
hit some
some way in a weird way.
Anyway, she's only a small girl as well. Gotta factor that in.
Have you ever been lifted and moved by someone like that? I guess it can because
big ass bouncers like
a big ass bouncer can pick someone up and move. I'm just trying to. He must.
I have. Now you said that, those memories are flooding back of a time that I was like, I think I was some issue about going into a club or something, and a bouncer physically picked me up and just took me away. I was just like, all right, I'm going on a trip. Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
But speaking of NCT, we got some news about them, specifically Shotaro and Sungtan, who are the members who were added. It's like 3 years ago now. It was a while ago, and they've never been added to a fixed unit, which obviously has meant that their activities have been pretty limited, just doing whenever they've had the whole NCT unit stuff at the end of the year. So they've been announced that they are no longer going to be in NCT, and instead they're going to be part of a new non-NCT boy group that will debut at some point later this year, along with some additional trainees who people have been expecting would be added to NCT for a while, like Shohei. So it's basically said that they've called it. They already said that the coming up NCT units are going to be the last ones, and there's not going to be any more. The whole infinite member concept thing they've scrapped it, and they're just going to go ahead with debuting future boy groups in the same way that they used to do.
Another one of those SM Universe things that starts off so complicated and just becomes simplified in the future.
Oh, basically, I mean, to be honest, I actually really liked the NCT concept. It was obviously very outlandish, but especially when it comes to you have boys starting to enlist and stuff, it gets difficult. I like the idea of being able to just swap in other members or swap guys out and make them do other stuff and it not be kind of awkward, Yeah.
It was it could have technically just kept being a permanent boy group forever at SM.
Yeah, that's the plan. I think that was the plan. Yeah.
The idea of it, yeah. Well, that's not happening now. So
which it's kind of a shame because I don't want to just have
I mean, it's kind of the AKB 48 system, technically.
Kind of. And especially at the start, it was going to be there was going to be a full graduation system. But with Dream members, people going into Dream first when they were young and then graduating into a fixed unit after that. But then Dream was so popular that people petitioned to have them stay as a full unit, and then that kind of put a halt on those plans. So obviously it sucks for Sungshan and Shotaro, who've just been waiting around for years to get this notice. Obviously, with all of the
Mark's taking all the jobs, dude. It's
basically obviously with all the hype stuff. It was complicated for SM for a while, so that kind of has slowed things down as well. But anyway, we'll just see a new boy group from SM in the future. That's not going to be another NCT unit, but we should still get the NCT Japan unit at some point. And I'm pretty sure the NCT Hollywood thing is still going to happen, whatever the hell that is going to be.
That thing's going to be a nightmare, I feel like.
I heard that this is a very Mnet-y and that they've apparently the group lineups for that has already been decided. So
your votes don't matter, people.
We'll find out. We'll find out. But,
I need to see what an NCT Hollywood lineup looks like. imagining it in my mind, and I can't quite put it together. Like what it.
What does that even
Yeah,
entail?
what does
Yeah.
that look like? What does it mean? Like, like are they,
Yeah.
every song would have to just, I guess, be in English or something? Is like the idea behind it or whatever?
It's just gonna be an American promoting group, basically. Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if that
Um.
would lose a bit of the charm.
Yeah. I would say so, but I guess we'll find out. I
Yeah.
imagine it's gonna have the existing NCT members in it to kind of give it that, you know,
Yeah.
authenticity.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens with that.
Yeah.
That could be another
So
one in the scrapbook.
yeah. Um. So I want to rant for a bit about what happened with Elast. So Elast, I'm a big fan of Elast. And they don't have a very strong or big company or with a lot of money behind them and whatnot. But they they scraped together some pennies to go on a US tour, and they worked with a promotion company or like that, like a tour organizer or whatever, called MC Entertainment or something, and they are notorious for being crap. Um, to the point that fans were begging E Entertainment, which is the last company, to not choose this company and go with someone else. And then there was even a boycott movement, which didn't obviously gain enough traction because people still went, fuck it, and bought the ticket, which kind of defeats the purpose. And basically, we heard it was just like shit show after shit show. So, like, they would arrive to venues like hours late. They would not be able to do the benefits for the like VIP tickets and stuff that people signed up for.
Yeah.
At Atlanta, they didn't even get to perform because the venue was deemed unsafe. So they just did like the fan signing and then left. There was like just footage of the members being yelled at by the MC staff and as if they were blaming them, and being rude to the ticket holders and whatnot who were complaining about stuff, and they were just basically laughing in their faces and telling them to screw off and whatnot. And then in Chicago, E Entertainment had clearly finally had enough and said, "Yeah, we fired him, and we're going to do what we can, but there's like contractual stuff that we need to go through. We are going to be like pressing charges for them not upholding their end of the deal, but we have to cancel the final stop in New York, which obviously is a big blow to people who are waiting to see them over there, including one of my friends who's like a huge fan of them and lives in New York. So she was obviously devastated. Obviously, it's not the end of the world for them. They will, I hope, in the future come back and be able to do the same stops and more properly. But just it's the combination of a K-pop entertainment agency not listening to fans who are more experienced in this area and saying, "Yo, this company's bad news. Stay away from them. Like, trust us. Don't go through them."
Yeah.
And just not heeding that warning. And then just the company itself being shit.
I wonder if the price is just like so cheap or something, and
That's what I would
they go for it because of that, you know?
Yeah, because especially with like a really small company, right? Like I imagine it's some, you just get some Korean intern, like, or someone at the company who speaks a bit of English and is like, all right, go find the best like value for money
Yeah.
concert tour company in America. Okay,
they got like
Google.
tweeted at, right, by a company that does it way better or something. Like next time we'll do it or something.
everyone loves Leo Entertainment, because they do great merch, and they communicate with fans, which I think is a very big plus. So yeah, hopefully MC never find work doing this kind of stuff again, because we've seen it time and time again with different groups that they've worked with.
Not to support a monopoly or anything, but if there is one company per se like doing it way better than everyone else, you'd kind of hope that just becomes like the mainstay way of like the foreign tours happening.
Or at least that they set an example that others follow. Especially given how kind of frequent US tours are at the moment.
Yeah.
And that we're seeing even smaller groups
who's doing like
stuff.
the ITZY and Twice, like because those were really well done. Like when I went and saw both groups,
I imagine wouldn't their American label partner with someone who does
Yeah,
it?
they're partnered with like big American labels. I forget about that. I forget that they have like Warner and other
Yeah,
contracts with those groups. So
yeah.
those they probably just contact someone there.
They got people.
They contact someone there that's like, all right, yeah, like, we'll
Yeah,
take care of
yeah,
all that.
yeah. It's more of a problem in Nugoville, like having to find just
Yeah.
find and book independent companies when you're in to do stuff.
Ava and Kay from our Discord went to some of those, right? To the Elast show.
Yeah, so Kay was in Chicago, right?
I
I
think
think
so, yeah.
she was at the one where they'd fired them, but they didn't do the benefits.
Yeah,
And
because I remember she said
Ava,
something like not
yeah,
getting the fan meet or something.
yeah. And Ava was in Atlanta, so he didn't get the show, but he got to meet the members. But he didn't get the show.
He just wait, he got a fan meet but no show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So he had
That's so
he had
messed up.
because only the venue was like a wedding hall. It was just like a wedding venue.
Sorry, Ava, I don't mean to laugh at your pain. That's just so ridiculous
But,
that I can't believe it.
So we were encouraging him when he was waiting to go to meet the boys, if he could get a middle finger, like get one of the members doing like this.
Yeah.
Because that would have been so funny. Like apparently he asked Roman, and Roman said, "Oh, I don't want to." He basically was like, "I don't want to get in trouble," so he didn't do it.
Yeah,
They did this instead, which
It makes
We'll
sense.
take it.
I can understand the idol
Read between the lines. Read between the
lines.
But
Yeah, wasn't there a thing they left in like a school bus or something?
yeah, then one of the stops they ended up leaving a school. But actually, I unironically love that. I love the idea of them all piling into a school bus and driving off.
That's your
Like it's part of BTS's music video.
Imagine you're on your tour and it's like you go out and it's like, all right, get in. And it's just some random ass school bus. Dude.
Get in, losers. We're going on tour. I love it.
That's just that's like an image of how dysfunctional that company is like just randomly there's a school bus as your vehicle to
they
leave.
could hire in that city was an old school bus. Like, yeah.
Like limo services and all those things are so easy to book.
Yeah,
in the United States.
They're not even that expensive.
No.
Some of the services, like, yeah.
That is
Pretty
like
funny.
being as cheap as you possibly can be. Like that is.
I'd love
that is
to
scraping
get
the
my
bottom.
K-pop group in like a clown car or something, you know, just pull up and have like 7 guys.
They
Get
just
out
have
of
like
one
3
tiny little
PT
car,
cruisers that pull up to pick them up, or what? Like,
just dark tinted windows and everything. Like, but
oh
yeah,
my
be
god,
cool. But yeah, just fuck MC Entertainment basically.
that's so
Did the
sad
shit.
that occurred that way. I feel bad for people who paid money to get screwed over like that.
Yeah. So they should be pushing for full refunds and stuff. So hopefully everyone gets kind of sorted out. But I mean, the main thing because I don't think the tickets were especially expensive, but I think it's just a case of wanting to.
I mean, if they don't do a refund, perhaps an appeasement would be like proof of ticket for tour again or something that they plan some type of appeasement for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, as far as I know, the E Entertainment and MC Entertainment are now in a like legal dispute. So, whatever the outcome is going to have to result from that. Hopefully, Elast can tour again properly soon. For one of them's already enlisted, so hopefully they don't have to wait too long before others start going in. That would obviously not.
Oh, so that's like enlistment's like 2 years, right?
18 months. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy when you think about it, how much time that really takes away from someone's career or whatever. Yeah. Like, it's kind of wild when you put it.
It used to be two full years.
Yeah.
It's a long.
You have to be like Song Hyun Min or something when you get like you don't have to, right? Because you're like considered a national like, treasure, I guess, or something to the.
He still has to do a little bit of training though.
Because he won the something. That's why
Asian Games.
Yeah, you have to win like a national trophy, right? Which we knew the World Cup was a big ask, so it was like.
Yeah, but ultimately, it just comes down to respecting the artists and the people and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of respecting artists, there it is. I have to admit,
that was the last segue. Okay.
Yeah. So Stray Kids Bangtan went on live. He didn't go on live specifically for this, but he mentioned it during the live. he was saying that they did a show. I think there was like a music bank live in Paris or something that they did with a bunch of other artists that were there. And he was complaining that, or saying it's like it's a thing now. It seems to be a thing now among like the younger generations. This is Bang Chan is like 25.
Yeah, he's doing like a boomer.
Yeah,
like,
being like, oh, they don't show any respect. They don't show respect the same way. Like, you greet people and you're like, Nazia, and they just don't respond to you. And he was pretty miffed about it. And this isn't the first time that he's said stuff about this, which is kind of funny because like he's not even like full. Oh, he is full Korean, but he's brought up in Australia, where obviously it's a bit more lax on greetings and stuff. That he's very, very stingy about correct greeting procedure.
Yeah.
So the issue was he didn't name anyone by name, and he said specifically that he didn't want to start any witch hunts or anything, but inevitably that's what happened. So Stays looked at who was performing at that same time, looked at who was a junior group to them, so it was like P1 Harmony and IVE, and went after them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people assumed it's IVE because
the Wongyun and all the I know all that stuff,
not bowing or whatever.
Yeah.
Just the stupid stuff. And obviously because Stay is a huge fandom, like a lot of people dogpile on something. And it just ended up with people being really nasty for no reason, and then Dives fighting back, and it just turned into a shit singing match for no good reason. And I get being annoyed about it, but if I'm Bang Chan, I have to be thinking I need to take a degree of responsibility here, because I know that how fans are gonna react,
interpret my words and stuff like that,
and know what fans can do and what they can be like, and just think maybe it's better if I just keep that to myself.
Yeah, I mean, he's someone who obviously has a lot of influence, so something he says is gonna make the rounds everywhere. So I am kind of like, I know Bang Chan's like a really good person, like from everything I've seen and stuff. So I feel like he definitely didn't have any like malicious intent. I think if anything, he was just kind of annoyed and like wanted to get it off his chest, and he chose just like the wrong place to do that. He chose the internet, which is like the worst place to do that.
It's the kind of thing, just like complain about that with the members, with your staff, like just be like, oh man, like, and maybe it was a misunderstanding, they just didn't hear you or didn't see you, whatever it could have been.
I saw the clip, and in the context he kind of said that himself, like, oh, maybe they just like don't hear me or something. He said in the clip or something like along those lines, like he was thinking in his own head, like, I wonder if they're just like not noticing us or something like that, kind of along those lines. Like he was almost trying to walk it back as he was doing it, like,
it was already too late.
He might have started like realizing as he was saying it, like, oh, like,
so it's one of those things, like I don't think much more needs to come from it, but just I do think it's one of the, we talked before about like the responsibility that idols should have, like not just being totally detached from them, whatever their fandom gets up to, and just being aware, like, and this is true for not just for K-pop idols, not just for Stray Kids, of course, but for anyone who carries a large fan base, that they have a degree of responsibility. Like we've seen this multiple times with like big internet personalities and streamers and YouTubers or whatever, that if they say something negative about someone or something, then their fans just attack it. Whether they intended that or not, they have to be aware that that's what their words can do.
He's one of those idols that does like the live content so much more than other idols, I feel like. So I feel like that just means there's so much opportunity for something like this to happen, you know what I mean? Because it's like
I think he does some weekly. He does these champions, like, or as much as he can.
There was always going to be an incident when you're doing lives all the time and stuff. Like it's
but the reception over here has been very frosty. People are like, oh, you're like a foreigner kind of, and you're upset about Korean manners this much, yet you have no problem having a school violence member in your group and stuff like that. People are very like, how dare you?
It's created like a fan war that didn't need to exist.
It's completely unnecessary. Like, especially given that it's between essentially one of the biggest boy groups and one of the biggest girl groups of fourth generation. Like it's yeah, a bit silly,
Which it's interesting. So I guess like Stray Kids fandom. Well, maybe not anymore, but they were much more of like an international fandom before than like a
Yes,
local
they still
fandom.
are. They still are
And IVE
hugely.
is probably like a very very local fandom
Yeah,
comparatively in size, I would say, to
yeah,
like the international side of it.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's an aspect of it
So
as
that
well.
probably changes perception as well. Like,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like either like national treasures, like
yeah,
yeah,
well, very quickly, like
yeah,
within like the first two songs.
yeah. So yeah, it is what it is.
It's
But
just an unfortunate situation because Bang Chen's like a cool
he's
dude.
he's like a genuine guy, and he's just trying to be genuine with his fans and talk about
Yeah,
how he felt, and it just but he needs to have that little voice in his head that goes, "Oh, actually, better not talk about this."
yeah. It's just
Um,
unfortunate you put something out on the internet and then someone can
it's there
always,
forever.
yeah, and then someone always twist it in like the worst way. You know, it's like something that's like almost a non-thought probably when he's like throwing it out, like,
Yeah,
and
like
then
because to him, it's just just an annoying thing that happened that day. You know,
yeah.
like it's no bigger than that. It's just part of his life, and he's just sharing that with fans.
There's
But
like a diary entry coming out of his mouth, essentially, like
I'm
on a live.
I'm already sat waiting for one of the things that Lily says on her lives to be because she just talks
Dude,
about whatever.
her clips are wild. I got shared
Yeah.
those during my Twitch live, and I was like, "What are you on about?" like,
It's like
like
it seems like Aussies are just fucking nuts. Like,
she's like making like fake murder scenarios on live and stuff. I was like, "What is happening over there?"
I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting for the day that she says something a bit controversial. But
I mean, it's like it's not. I guess it's not controversial, but it's already just like what?
yeah,
like,
yeah, it's still a bit odd.
I
But
saw the
yeah.
thing too where someone asked her what JYP water tastes like, and it took her like 30 seconds to just say it tastes like water or something like that. I was like,
Well, that's the
Jesus.
classic line. That clip of Yeri and Wendy, right?
Yeah, the
When
SM water.
SM water tastes like water,
Yeah.
like it's yeah, it's solid bit. I imagine JYP puts cucumbers in his water.
It does sound like a
Um,
JYP thing. Why does that sound like a thing he would do?
Speaking of JYP just rocked up at some random basketball tournament thing, like just to play. Like he just entered some basketball tournament. So all
Just
these, so these
nonchalantly.
like, yeah, so these, these guys are just playing basketball, and fucking JYP is just there. They're like, hold on a minute, aren't you literally JYP? And he's like, yeah,
That's kind of awesome.
he loves basketball apparently.
That's kind of the same energy as do you know that actor from Mad Max, and he plays Venom and all that stuff?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yeah. You know Tom Hardy's
Yeah.
just been showing up to random martial arts competitions and fighting.
I didn't know, but I saw that Mark Zuckerberg won a jiu-jitsu
No
competition.
way, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Imagine getting fucking grappled by
Getting
Mark
rolled by
Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, he has the money
Mark,
to be
your
trained
skin
by
is
the
so
best.
scaly.
So no,
Yeah.
but like Tom Hardy's super legit. He's been winning like
Yeah, no, I do remember
trophies
seeing once one
and
of
stuff
him
in
like
it.
smashing
Like,
people up. Yeah.
no, he's
I
like
to be
super
fair,
legit.
I mean, I could easily see myself getting beaten up by Tom Hardy, but
Yeah, I think it's judo or something he's doing.
yeah,
And he's just like
let's.
rolling in and winning the competitions. And it's like, why is Tom Hardy just like coming into my competition?
Oh no,
and
yeah, why is
whooping
Tom Hardy
everyone?
beating my ass?
It's so like, you're a famous multi-million-dollar actor, and you have to come here and whoop me in judo too. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, come on, what don't you have? You gotta have a small dog.
He is just like almost like a meme living person of his characters, because there's like a thing too
Yeah.
where he chased down a purse robber in the streets
Oh yeah.
and stopped them or whatever. It's like, dude, are you just like waiting around to do this stuff? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, probably. Tom Hardy is, of course, British.
Yes.
And speaking of things that are popping off in England, 50/50's is
It's popping up
now
everywhere.
hit number 8 in the UK. I've heard people in the UK saying that they're hearing it everywhere, which is very rare for the UK. I know you were saying that you're hearing it all the time
Yeah,
in the US.
like anyone who lives in California knows like 102.7 is like the giant pop station. That's like Ryan Seacrest pop station Top 40, and Cupid has been playing every day that I drive to work on that station. It's wild to hear The Weeknd and Ariana Grande switch to Cupid by 50/50. Like
Yeah,
it's really weird, but it's cool. It's a cool weird.
They've achieved they're constantly just achieving new records. So they hit a peak of 34.3 million monthly listeners on Spotify, which makes them the highest girl group for that, surpassing Blackpink. They've surpassed Blackpink again for the longest time on the Billboard 200. They were the first first female group to hit #1 on Billboard Global 200 with a debut song. They're just smashing it.
And we can kind of trace this to TikTok, right? That's kind of like that was kind of where the original trend of people catching on to it started, right?
Yeah.
Which was kind of what happened with like "Oh My God" by New Jeans. Those two songs kind of were like these TikTok phenom things where it's like every video is like playing this song.
We're just putting that. I mean, because I started. I mean, I don't use TikTok. I don't have TikTok, so I find out about this stuff.
I feel like a boomer when I open TikTok. It's like a foreign language of like media that.
Like the only ones I see are things that get reposted on Instagram, and even then, I don't really see them very often. But even with that little amount of exposure, I've seen like just random cooking videos or whatever, and they've put Cupid on in the background. Like, so
I do get drift TikToks sometimes, and those are playing.
no,
but they're playing like Cupid in the drift video, and I'm like, how is this happening? You know, it's and lonely, and it's just someone like e-braking around a corner. It's such a conflicting image to sound. Like
that doesn't make any sense.
It's just them like catching on to the trend with their video, like.
And they're also gonna be on the soundtrack to the Barbie movie. The Barbie movie put it in their playlist like last month, but I figured that was just like a.
Could you imagine, like in post editing, they threw it in there?
Well, they might have done. I don't know. Like
it's possible. Like it's not that hard of a thing to do.
And you could just whack it on in the credits and put it in the soundtrack, right? Like it doesn't matter. Yeah,
that is a good credit song to a Barbie movie.
Yeah,
like exactly. that could totally fit the vibe.
Imagine that as the end credit song. Yeah, like so either way, like that's yet more exposure for it. Because we know that movie's going to be huge.
Well, they could easily put it in a scene in the movie, because if you've ever seen what they do, it's sometimes like there's so many audio things that are not decided when the movie's fully filmed or whatever. You'd be surprised how empty the sound is for so many things. Like,
yeah, definitely.
It's not that hard to change.
I never thought I'd be discussing the soundtrack to the Barbie movie.
No, I didn't.
But
dude, have you seen? Sorry, but have you seen how strange the like Ryan Gosling like look is in that movie? They're definitely going for like a dark Barbie thing with those two actors that are in it, like Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. I don't feel like they're doing like a. I feel like they're definitely going for something a little kind of twisted with it or whatever. We'll see, though. See what happens.
I'm not sure I will see it, but I'll hear about it.
You're not going to go watch it day one in the movie theaters?
I don't think so. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. Unless you want to talk about this hilarious story of a medic, a military nurse, who abandoned her post. I think she can literally be charged with, like, going AWOL.
Oh, shit.
To drive like 20 to 30 minutes to another base in order to be the nurse who administered Jin with a vaccine. So that's something that I also have to deal with when they're in the military. So anyway, moving on.
Why? To like touch his arm for 2 seconds or something?
She posted like, he was hurting so bad. It's very strange.
It's too much for me. I don't even know what to say. Okay, on to the Queendom Puzzle lineup.
Yeah. So they did this. This is kind of a weird way. I guess. Well, first we should probably talk about what Queendom Puzzle even is, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna do a project group, a 7-member group from 28 or now 26 contestants. We don't know exactly how they're gonna pick them, like how are they gonna do the actual show, but they have released 2 songs, and then they gave 2 teams to each song. So it's kind of like in later stages in produce shows where you have them like the same song being performed and you have to pick like which team did it better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the vibe that we've gotten so far. So I will admit I've heard the songs, but I didn't watch any of the stages yet. So I can't pass judgment on who has done well or who hasn't. But I know who's in the show overall. So we can just talk about like what the lineup's like, if there's any surprise inclusions or anyone that we feel like really we wish had been on there, and then who our ideal top 7 would be, I guess.
I did see the music video that had Yoram and Bora in the same
Uh-huh.
team, and I'm gonna just have an internal war through the entire show of Yoram and Bora, like who is taking top position for me and stuff. Like it's just gonna kill me the whole time. And then Taeyeon is the host, so I'm just gonna be getting like mind wiped between every performance.
I'm so happy that we once again get Taeyeon and Yoram on a show together, so we can just compare them physically, looking like the same person, although very different.
It's
like Yoram's like the dancer that Taeyeon never was, and vice versa. So I guess we'll just go through we'll break them down into the teams that they're in, and then we can just talk about the members in each team. And then at the end, we'll do our overall ideal top 7, I guess. So first of all, we should mention that Chaeyeon and Haein. So Chaeyeon, obviously, of formerly Viswon, that's soloist. She was going to be on it, but she left for unknown reasons. I think it's a real shame because it would have been really cool to see her in a group environment.
Performing with those other idols and stuff too.
I think she probably would have cleared and almost certainly made it in to the lineup if she stayed in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, hopefully for good reasons, she decided not to do it. So yeah, and then Haein from Laboom, who also popped up and did really well and was very popular on Girls Reverse. Her character was very popular. She was going to be in it, and then she's pulled out for unknown reasons as well. Hopefully, those reasons are because Laboom are having a comeback or something. They've been constantly thrown around as being about to disband or on the verge of disbandment or whatever, and it's a bit murky with what's going on with them. So hopefully, again, it's to do with something positive in that regard. I think she could have been good on the show, but well, either way, they're not going to be on it. So
Chaeyeon's dancing and everything could have so easily won so many like performance rounds and things like that, and just her popular. I mean, her solo music was so good recently. I hope it's just because like she wants to focus on promoting more and do like actual concerts and stuff, and where this just conflicted schedule wise or something like that would at least be like a really good reason, you know.
I hope so. It's nothing more than that. Yeah, we do have the RBW concert coming up, which of course she is technically a part of. So maybe something to do with that. Maybe
like her and Oh My Girl, right?
Yeah. So team 1 is Jihan and Soeun from Weekly, Nana and Wooyeon from Wooa, Jiwoo from Triple S, and Jiwon from Cherry Bullet. So. Any thoughts?
Sown from Weekly, thanks to constant barrages from Ava and Logan, is probably going to be the one who's affecting me the most from that team. I know that Nana is very she's like the popular member.
Yes. Yeah.
Jiwon from Cherry Bullet.
She's a bit of a baddie from Cherry Bullet.
Okay, I think then I know who you're talking about because I know like how Cherry Bullet all looks across the board. And
so she's like Cherry Bullet's like Sable.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. There.
Maybe not to that extent, but that kind of vibe.
I will be interested to see how like Nana does because she's so popular from her group, but I don't know really how good she is at singing or dancing or anything like that.
She's a great dancer.
Okay, okay. So she's
I
like
think
really talented. Okay.
I think she's quite well rounded in general, but dancing is probably the area in which she's strongest. So yeah, I'm excited to see her. I mean, it's pretty neat that WUA members are turning out in general. I don't know anything really about the Triple S girls, of whom there are a couple in the show. So
in the Triple S videos I've seen, like the singing and dancing is really good. So I imagine they all are just like really talented across the board.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure no one here is a talent hole, right?
No,
it's more just like who's going to stand out and in what way.
For sure.
So Jihan I know is the weekly member who's the huge Luna fan. But she's also like, in my mind, she's going to be 16 forever. So I don't know. Either way, I think Nana and Jiwon are the ones I'm most interested in seeing.
I'm scared of Seoul, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, Nana was the one I was really interested in seeing how she does, just because she's so popular, and I kind of want to know why. I guess is the like context of that. Like, I want to know, what is this person so popular for? Because I know who she is, and I don't check out her content that often.
She got popular from a drama, like that's
that's what made her like really popular. Well, I mean, looks wise, I get it. Like, you see her and she's very captivating, so like I understand. Yeah. But like, you're just saying she's a really good dancer and stuff. So now I'm interested in seeing like how she does in all the like performance rounds and stuff.
Yeah, sure. So team 2, we have Sanga of Lights On, Yeon, formerly of CLC, Cherin from Cherry Bullet, Bora from Cherry Bullet, Yuki from Purple Kiss, Rina from Haiki, and Yoram from WJSN. That team was already stacked, by the way.
Just put that on my gravestone right now. Just put the name of that, like every member of that team, write it down on my gravestone already.
Like that team has 2 extremely strong dancers. It has 2 extremely strong rappers. It has a very, very strong vocalist. And then it has a very, very strong up and comer.
You could just debut that lineup as it is right now.
You kind of could. Like, you kind of could just debut that lineup.
I know that Bora and Yoram are gonna be like the ones that are captivating me, obviously, because I already really like them. They're already my biases from their groups, but I'm scared of Yeon. Like, she's gonna be doing some crazy shit in the show. I just know it. Like, her appearance alone, because I remember what was the show we watched?
Good Girl.
Good Girl, yeah. It was already too much. Like, so
the thing is, again, obviously she's just had a full like solo debut and stuff, and she was primarily singing, and she's a good singer. But I think the thing that everyone enjoys from Yeon is when she's rapping and she brings out that like Hyuna-esque tone, you know, because she writes her own raps and everything, which is always neat. And she can like spit. Which is very true for Yuki as well. Of course, he writes her own raps, which is very impressive.
So Yuki is in that same team as well. That's right. Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, so they're basically all ones to watch. I think Rina is very impressive from what Haiki in general have very.
Rina's the only one I don't know super well out of that whole line.
Well, I don't think many people know much about them, but Haiki started popping off in Korea. Like, their first releases got a little bit of traction, and then Rose Blossom did really well here and started like having really good success on the charts because of some stuff with the lyrics that I don't fully understand because I'm not Korean enough. But either way, the lyrics apparently were hitting in the right spot because that thing was hitting in the top 10s and stuff. It was doing really well. And she got a lot of good attention as a very, very strong performer. And also she has short hair, so
Chaein from Purple Kiss could be like kind of the dark horse who really takes she's really talented and stuff. So
Cherin
Chaerin,
from
sorry.
Cherin from Cherry Bullet, not Chaeyin from Purple
Oh, it's
Kiss.
not Chaeyin from Purple Kiss that you said.
No,
Okay, I was like, if you said
Cherin
Chaeyin from Purple Kiss, like
from
she's really incredibly talented or whatever. So I was like, holy shit.
no.
Chaerin from Cherry Bullet.
She's the one who had the Nazi controversy. Ironically, that's also what
I
what
don't
Chaeyin
want
from
that to
Purple
be
Kiss had.
why I know who you're talking about, but now I do know who you're talking about. Dude. Why does that have to be why I know who that is? Okay.
I mean, to be fair, like she doesn't stand out in as much in Cherry Bullet songs because she's not as
Bora's
prominent.
in her team, which is just like, oh my god, Bora is just gonna be like throwing me around the room when she's like performing because that
Right.
voice is ridiculous, dude.
Of course, it does depend obviously on what the content's going to be like for each round. Like if we're going to have original songs every time, that could be tailor-made, like, oh, we're going to have a high note and whatever, or are we going to have like a very heavy dance
I mean, are
focused
you gonna be
performance?
conflicted, Bora and
Like that's
Yoram in the same team? Like I'm
no,
just
but what I mean is Bora might struggle in doing a song
and
that where she can't show off her vocals,
like a
like
dance round where Yoram is
yeah.
just slaying the floor for us. Like I don't like.
Yeah, so we'll have, and equally could go the other way if there's a very vocal heavy song. Like Yoram's a decent singer, but it's not her strongest suit, right? So yeah, it'd be interesting to see exactly
It's
how
short
it all
hair
ends up.
Bora, dude, and she wore a beret in the music video.
I mean, it's short hair, everyone basically, but yeah. Either way, from this group, like I think Sanger is a dark horse. Honestly, I think Sanger is from Lightsome. She's very talented. She's a talented dancer, talented rapper. I think she could surprise people for sure. Team 3, we have Jui, formerly of Momoland. We have Zoa from Weekly. We have Yeonhee from Rocket Punch. We have Soojin from Weekly. We have Seon from Rocket Punch, and we have Soyeon from Triple S.
Okay, so this team isn't the one where Judy got announced?
No, that's Team 4.
Okay. Gotcha.
Spoilers.
I know what all of Rocket Punch looks like, but Judy is like the member that I know because of Produce and everything like that very well. Like,
well, her and Sohee as well. Yeah. Yeonhee is very pretty, and she's had pink hair.
well, I don't think there's anyone here who are gonna be like, oh wow, they're not very pretty or something, you know? Like,
okay, no, that's true. But Yeonhee is the one who stands out a lot.
I really like Jui from Momoland. I know her.
Yeah, you didn't get round to watching Second World yet, right?
No, I haven't. No, but
yeah.
her personality, I remember. Like, she's great. Like, I remember watching Knowing Brothers with her on it, and like other idols and stuff, and she's awesome and like variety.
I will say she's a lot more mellow nowadays. Like on Second World, she was much more. Like you could tell there was still like that spark there, but she was more reserved and like not just full crackhead idol Dewey. She's now like cool soloist Dewey. But on Second World, she had some good moments and she had some moments where she was a bit lackluster. She's kind of still finding her feet, I think, in terms of what she wants to be as a soloist. So I think this will be a really good like staging ground for her, if you will, like how she was gonna figure out more of what she's good at, what she wants to do, how she wants to be involved in her music going forward. Because she's went on Second World as a rapper turned vocalist, so she showed off primarily vocals, but coming from a rapper's perspective. So I don't know which direction she considers herself more now. I guess more as a vocalist, but
at least in like team rounds, she can be put to a very specific role or something.
Yeah, she can be flexible. Yeah, that's for sure.
What I mean by that is like she doesn't have to carry everything by herself or something. You know, there's a team, so there's like you can really just excel in a specific point or something. You know. You said Zoa from Weekly. That's the Machne, right?
Zoa. Yeah, Zoa.
Okay,
and
I do know who that is.
Yeah, I think Weekly members in general, I've always seen as being very well rounded. Always, I think Like, because I think maybe just that's come off how I view Monday, and then that's kind of passed down to the rest of the group. It's like, oh well, she can do everything, so
Yeah.
that's true. That's true for everyone.
Monday
But
is just like is I
yeah,
think across the board in our Discord, Monday is just like the beloved weekly member.
right.
Like,
I mean, it's hard not to be impressed by Monday, right?
yeah.
But so yeah, I don't know exactly what the strengths and weaknesses of Zoa and Sujin, or for that matter, Jihan and Soan are.
Mm.
It's a lot of, by the way, it's a lot of members of one group on the show. Four members from the same group. Um, so yeah, Asian I know is as a strong vocalist, I believe. I think that's I think that's her position in Rocket Punch. I could be wrong.
When you
So
talk
yeah,
about these lineups, I'm kind of disappointed because I feel like Cheon would have been really well suited in like one of these groups or something. You know, like
yeah. I think you can see the vision that Mnet had with the casting that they did, right?
I mean, thank God Nako didn't get casted because I would have just had to
Yeah, Nako
shamelessly.
and Hitomi.
I would have had to shamelessly vote for Nako regardless the whole series.
You'd been that guy.
It would have been unavoidable. I don't even care who else was in it. I would have just had to vote for Nako. It's like it's.
I mean, if Nako and Hitomi, as originally rumored, were on the show, that would have made for a surprisingly large 48G or previously representative contingent on here. Because in Team 4, we have Shiroma Miru of NMB48, Juri, formerly of AKB48, Fai from BNK48, which is the Thailand Bangkok unit. Again, I think she has graduated. Huisa from Haiki, Chanmi or Doha, I'm not quite entirely sure what she wants to go by, of AOA, Ellie of Weki Meki. And of course Kay of formerly of Lovelies. So that's it's an interesting selection of
Kay's
of
in the
people.
show.
Yeah.
No. Why do they need to stop? How many people are gonna be in this show that like are gonna give me conflicting feelings about who to pick or vote for or anything like that? You know, like, is there voting?
You can have more than one singer. I don't know. We don't know.
If there's voting, I'm
We're gonna
screwed. Sorry, but I remember Shiroma Mira because I liked her in Produce 48 and was like a little disappointed that she didn't make it. And so, well, I mean, obviously the Eyes One lineup ended up being like perfect, but yeah, that'll be interesting to see because I've seen like her solo music was a bit K-poppy, I guess you'd say, or something, but with like Japanese lyrics, obviously. But she did like that like ice cream one, not to be mistaken with Blackpink's ice cream.
No, not that one. No, yeah, she I think she always she was certainly talking about wanting to debut in Korea. Although she said very clearly at the time she didn't want to make the final lineup for Ice One. She was like, I don't want to debut in this.
What?
Which is pretty, she was like, well, I think she didn't necessarily sign up to be there, and they just kind of sent her. So I don't know.
That's interesting.
But anyway, I think it's a great opportunity for her, and I think it'll be again a similar situation to obviously because she's done it before. It's not going to be that out there, but it'll be that like that same thing again of like, oh, here's a 48 member. Like, what can they do? Can they handle the career system or the career situation? Because they won't be being trained in the same way. I don't think it's not going to be like Prodigies or whatever, but it will be like here are debuted K-pop idols. Can you match them for vocals or dance or whatever? And there, I think maybe is the answer to that question, but we're gonna have to find out.
It'll be interesting to see how well versed she'll be in learning choreography from like the songs and stuff really quickly and everything like that.
I think having done Project 48 obviously gives her a huge advantage in that regard. Like she certainly has done that kind of thing before, like learning a song. And
there's just certain idols in there like Yodam and stuff that have just they're a veteran, you know, like that it'll probably like comparatively for them to just be like, and
But
throwing stuff together.
but of course, what if it is a public voting thing? What Miru can do is obviously use her charms to try and win people over.
That's the
I
thing.
think
Do you think like Nako and Hitomi, if they were in the show, would have just been like shoo-ins because of their popularity or
Yeah.
something? Like it would have
No,
just been like,
I-
oh, Broman, like just like what?
they're too big, and I like that they've kept it kind of within a reasonable range of popularity.
Yeah.
Fai, I think in Korean they've written it as just Fai, so I don't know. But she's a complete dark horse. I think she's going to be for everyone. Like I've never followed, while I follow the Japanese 48 groups reasonably closely, I've not followed the other Asia 48 groups like at all, outside of the ones that separated in China.
Yeah.
Like so I don't know shit about Bangkok 48 like at all. So I've no idea. I've listened to like maybe one or two of their songs, and they just sound like 48 songs, but in Thai.
I have no idea who she is, but it'll be interesting to see. Like maybe she's like a crazy singer or dancer or something. Like,
yeah, I mean, you have to imagine that there's probably at least some people in Thailand who have the K-pop idol dream, right? And they just decide to go through the 48 system first as a means of getting some local popularity, making a bit of money, maybe doing something, and then trying to go from there. Like,
I mean, the Thai idols we know of are so talented that I almost have like an unrealistic expectation because I know Minnie and Lisa and Lynx. It's just
right. But then maybe that is probably why. Yeah, the success of people like Lisa and Bam Bam and Minnie and Ten and whatnot has probably sets a very high bar. And there's probably now loads of other kids who've grown up seeing them and like, man, I want to do, or Nikion for that matter, being like, I want to do that, but then they don't quite make the bar, they don't get scouted, they're not quite there, so they do 48 as a means of
Minnie is like way too unique of a vocalist for anyone to be compared to, and then Lisa's like dancing.
I would hope that the girl is not gonna go in and just be compared to Lisa and Minnie.
Yeah, it's just it'd be such an unfair comparison. Like,
that's something we could.
But I do have a high bar of expectation of Thai idols just because of how good the ones I know of are. Like, I don't expect like some like I don't know how to dance or like.
Yeah, I hope it won't be like that. But she's definitely going to be the biggest dark horse in the show because the vast majority of people.
Is it Ellie from Wiki Mickey, right?
Yeah, so Ellie did Girls Reverse as well. There's quite a few people from this show who were in Girls Reverse as well, like Jury and Sian.
Just a lot of like Mnet crossover.
Yeah, though Girls Reverse wasn't Mnet, so.
Oh, it wasn't?
No. No, it wasn't.
Okay. It seems like such an Mnet.
It was a cacao show.
Okay, it seems like such an Mnet idea that
it does. Yeah.
That I'm surprised that it's not.
But yeah, so I don't know. I guess these are just people who are available and we're up for this kind of thing. But yeah, Ellie, I think Ellie is quite reserved. So like until she feels comfortable about things. Bearing in mind, Ellie did Project 101 as well. Like she's no stranger to competition and stuff. But I think it might be hard for her to show her color as it were.
Yu Jung was just sparing all our lives by not appearing in the show.
But like, yeah, there's members in Wikimeki that could have come in and done like and been more obviously prominent. Like Suyeon could have done it, or Lua could have done it, and they would have been more obvious. I think Ellie's certainly a good singer, and I think an underrated singer, but I'm not sure how easily she can show that in this kind of environment. But I'm more than happy to be proven wrong by that,
Do you think there's going to be like a lot of cover rounds, or there's like all original song performances? I wonder and stuff because they've already done original songs.
I was wondering on that as well, and I have no answer. I hope it'd be cool if we got some covers as well.
Yeah, I would like to see cover like a mix is always good.
Yeah. And then Chanmi, I'll call her Chanmi for now until she makes it clear that she's Doha still. That was her Girls Reverse character. I told you a lot of them are on there. She, all I can think of now is that performance they did in the first Queendom.
Mm.
And then Chanmi, I'll call her Chanmi for now until she makes it clear that she's Doha still. That was her Girls Reverse character. I told you a lot of them are on there. She, all I can think of now is that performance they did in the first Queendom. you know, where she like the dance where they each had like one dancer do the thing right, and yeah,
She's
um,
definitely the veteran of everyone on the show. Like she's
she
second
she is, but
gen.
she
Like
not quite. They debuted 2012, so she'd be the start of third gen,
okay, they just feel
but
like that era, you know, like
she,
they
she's still very young, comparatively.
to the
Like
other
I think
AOA members and stuff. Okay.
she's only. Well, I mean, to the other members, like she's not even that old compared to members in on the show. Like she's 26.
Oh, okay. So she was just very young in AOA.
Yeah,
Then.
which is kind of a terrifying thought. But
Yeah, especially when you consider like Good Luck and like a cat and all that
when
stuff.
you
Like,
think of name 20 AOA songs,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, and she'll turn 27 in June while the show is airing, incidentally. But like,
That's got to be
yeah, she's
similar to
not.
like Yoram's age or something, right? Like,
Yeah, Kay is 2 years older than her.
which
Um,
is just look at Kay and say that, like, you know what I mean? Like, Kay could blend
you're
in as like one of the Maknaes in the show or something, you
yeah,
know? Like,
she will try and be one of the monkeys in the show, but Yoram is 24.
oh, okay, interesting. I wonder who Kay will try romancing this time.
Well, yeah, I was also thinking that like, who's gonna be the Hwasa, because she doesn't have like the big big star or whatever to saddle up to. So it'd be interesting to
Maybe there'll
see
be a
how
Kay
people.
Taeyeon arc.
To be fair, a lot of people said that K solo debut was like trying to be a Taeyeon song. So um, it'd be interesting to see how they do in that dynamic with a lot of the girls like really looking up to them and stuff. Like I don't know how young
Yeah, because if
the
there
girls
is
in
like cover
yeah.
rounds, the chances of them doing like one of their songs or something is quite high, probably. Like, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, like Huisa from Haikyuu was 10 when Chanmi debuted. So you have situations like that, which are
Well, yeah,
always
there's gonna be
fun.
age gaps like that that are big.
Yeah.
And
Um,
WJSN for
but I
some of these girls has to have been like a group they were looking up to or something. You know, like
oh
it's
yeah, yeah. Well, the
like
Lovelies certainly would have been, yeah. And AOA probably were for some of them too.
yeah.
So I think Chami is underappreciated in terms of her abilities because she didn't always get the most exposure in AOA just because there were other members in AOA who drew your attention, shall we say?
Yeah.
Um,
And,
but Chami, she's a very very good dancer. That can't go understated. She's also a good rapper and a good vocalist. She's pretty well rounded, and I think I hope that she will impress people because I think she deserves the opportunity to do so. She shouldn't be written off from the entire industry at her age, like.
yeah, for sure. I hope
um,
she does well.
and Kay, obviously, like you say, Kay is a great singer, and a great personality. It's hard to you can't mess around when you
Dude,
have a
if
voice
it
like
had
that.
been Yein from Lovelies, we would have just had to. I would have called out sick. I would have had to have left.
I'm honestly kind of surprised that we didn't have Yein on
If
it
it was
because she
Yein,
was
it would have been game over for me. It would have just there would have
her
been
and
nothing I could do.
Baby Soul. Her and Baby Soul were both on Girls Reverse. Without knowing, by the way, which is hilarious. Neither of them knew that the other one was on it. So when their avatars are all meeting, and she's like, "Wait a fucking minute, I know that voice." But yeah, then the other girls in this group, I don't know anything about Huisa really, and that's it. Yeah. So
The lineup's interesting. There's just some I'm gonna be that I'm already so invested in that I guess
right,
I'll have to be genuinely open to someone like really impressing me and like making me their fan because there's a lot that are like that. Like I don't know them at all,
right.
so they'll have to like I'll just have to see like what their performances are like and stuff. Nana is like to be announced, like I know who she is and I know
Let's see
she's
what she's
really
about.
popular and I need to see like what the
I
deal
am
is.
sure there are some videos, and by that I mean I know there are some videos out there of Nana that could sway your opinion.
I don't need any of those. Like I want to watch it in the context of the show and be swayed. You know what I mean?
I know
Like,
that Harley is the resident Wuar shooter, so I'm sure would be happy to inform you. So, can you think of a top 7 right now? Not necessarily just like who you think of the top 7 best, but who would you particularly like to see in the group at the
If
end?
it was based off my favorites going in, Yoram Bora would for sure be there.
Uh-huh.
Yuki, Judy
Hmm.
from Cherry Bullet. The next three
Rocket Punch.
are a little what? Oh
Rocket
no,
Punch.
Rocket Punch. I'm sorry, Rocket Punch, not Cherry Bullet.
We all do it.
No, the next three are a little tricky. I would like to see Ellie from Wiki Meki
Okay,
because I just like all the Wiki Meki members in general. I feel like their group is so underappreciated for how good they are too.
for sure.
And the final two, there's another. I thought that Chaein is in it, right?
No.
So there's one Purple Kiss member, Yuki.
Yeah.
I thought there was 2 Purple Kiss members for some reason.
No.
Just Yuki showing up is kind of interesting.
There are 2 Purple Kiss members on Girls Reversed. One of which is Jared.
K. Just because I already have, I'm invested in K already.
Sure.
And who doesn't like her? Like, she's awesome.
Yeah.
A 7th's kind of tricky because I just want to be like impressed by someone so much that they make me their fan.
Right.
So I guess like to be announced, my 7th would be I want to see what Nana does, and if that sways me to be my 7th pick of a lineup going in, because the rest of them are all like I want to see what they do, you know.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I have like 6 solid ones I'm already invested in, but I want like the 7th to be someone who's like, okay, like that blew me away. Like, you know, going in though, if I picked a 7th already, Yin would be like an easy pick, just because it's like,
it's Yin.
She's gonna be the one probably through the whole show being like, stop, please. Like, please leave me alone. Stop it.
But also, like, she has probably some of the biggest whiplash, like, because she's like so fierce on stage, and then off stage she's like so like cutesy and like
she's just a bombshell, I guess is the word or something. Like she's on screen and it's like, oh my god, you know, like that's
she's very eye catching for sure.
Yeah, she could at any moment kill like everyone on the show.
Like, maybe she will. Maybe that's the real reason that Chaeyoung and Haein aren't on the show. She just just killed them. So I think for me, I really want to see the Hags do well. I especially watching Second World.
like
I'm going to call them the Hags. Yeah, the mid to late 20s Hags. I want to see them do well because I like. So watching Second World really like.
So you want Chanmi and Kay and really stuff to do really well.
So I want Chanmi, I want Kay, and I want Jui. Even though I don't think they necessarily are the best in the.
I always thought Jui was really young, even though she's in Momoland or whatever.
She gives off that vibe, right?
She gives off a very like young vibe, but I guess she's probably.
She's only 23, bro. God damn.
Yeah, I thought she was young because like.
Yeah.
She looked very young in Momoland.
She's been young in Momoland. Yeah, it just feels like Momoland was so long ago.
Yeah, they were around long enough that
it was 5 years ago since Boom Boom.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. But yeah, I would really like. I'd love to have for her to have that moment, you know, just to go out and have fun on stage and be in the spotlight again. So I think Kay, Jui, and Chanmi, and then I think. I can't shake my personal biases, so Yoram and Bora.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I kind of really want like Miru on there, just because I would love that.
I would be very open to. I want to see how Miru does. I'd be very open to it. Of course,
she could just flop, and then it is what it is. But I would love that storyline. You know, the Miru storyline.
No, it'd definitely be a good story.
And then maybe then it's like between Ye and Yuki and Rina. I think probably keeping the theme of Hags United, I'll go with Yeon.
I'm
but yeah,
so scared of you.
yeah. If I had to pick just like a who do I think are like would be like the best like just ability wise from this what we've seen, it would be like Kei and Bora as the vocalists, Yuki and Yeon as the rappers, um Yodam and possibly Rina as the dancers, and then
Bora's vocal talent
another
is.
one, maybe Jihan as a, or maybe Sanga as like the rounder at the end. Yeah, but
I don't think anyone
anyway,
could compete with Bora's vocal talent on the show.
it depends on the style. I think Bora for just hitting those like crazy high notes and stuff at the end, I think she smashes that. But for, in term, if you want to hit like if they have like a somber ballad round, then I think Kay would clear her for that. That's her.
I
She,
guess. Yeah, it's just.
Kay's already got the voice of someone singing through a divorce, whereas Bora's still got that young, that more fresh,
Yeah.
optimistic voice, you know.
It's
uh,
if it's
but
voting.
I think yeah,
If it's voting,
we
who are you shamelessly voting for?
Bora.
Right?
Because
I can't avoid it. Like,
after Girls Planet, it's like yeah, and she was on Girls Reverse. I'm gonna keep saying this. She was on Girls Reverse as well, and she was like just so goddamn nice. She's too nice, you know. Like she really deserves to get some good karma coming from how nice she's been all the time. I'd love it if it ever transpires that she's just a huge bully off stage. She's like she like smokes cigarettes and like stubs them out on May's leg or something. Like, but yeah, I think she really deserves the dub at some point. So
yeah, if there's voting, I'm 100% voting for Bora. Like, that's just,
yeah,
I can't not. I wanted her to win in Girls Planet so badly, you know. So it's like, I just have to put that same energy to this now. She's too talented to not get a dub. You know what I mean? It's just like
it's a travesty
to be recognized for how good she is.
Yeah, it's like a crime that she's she's yet to be properly acknowledged for her
I feel like this is a
ability
good
and
chance. This is a good show for her to like show off some vocals and just be like slaying some songs in there.
Yeah, I hope we don't. I hope the songs that came out so far, they're okay. I think I liked Snap more a little bit, but I wasn't like crazy about either of them. So
you did see the video?
No,
Okay.
I didn't see
you
the
should
video.
go watch the video.
Do I?
Yeah.
Do I really?
Yeah. And Bora's got like short hair and a beret and everything too. So I was flying out of my chair.
I bet, yeah. I mean, I was kind of thinking that they would just drop them in the first episode, you know, so I was saving myself, but
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
The only thing we didn't talk about, I guess, was who we wanted to be in it and isn't.
Yeah,
I have one person,
okay,
but she would have been too strong, and she would have won automatically.
Okay,
on B.
To be fair, some people did think that MV was going to be in it,
but
so
she could have just. Oh my god! In this type of show, I would have just loved to have seen it. But plus, I feel like she's kind of like at the moment doesn't have a comeback or anything, so it's kind of like a time she could have done it.
Something she could be doing,
yeah.
I think I'm happier without there being any like.
She would have been a shoe.
Yeah. Like. Well, maybe.
You don't think so?
I get, but
yeah. Eyes won popularity and her own popularity. Yeah, I feel like she would have just been like.
I mean, she cleared on Girls Reverse as well. Again, she cleared on Girls Reverse as well. So yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, there were talk of obviously the usual thing in my fandom circles going around like, oh, can an H member be in this? Because they released those the puzzles where you could spell out people's names. And you could write Haru from one of them, and you could write Sohee from it. So there was talk of that, but I didn't know if I necessarily would have wanted that. It would have been cool to see them just there to interact, you know.
I think this could have been really good for a nature member. I'm a little disappointed one's not in it. Like,
maybe, yeah. Maybe it would have been cool, especially for someone like Haru to get a chance to show off how good she is at dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe they feel like they're not rounded enough to do a show like this. I know Harry certainly is very insecure about her singing and stuff,
I
but
mean,
I don't know.
Sebom could have gone on the show and just murdered
Oh,
everyone
Jesus.
by being there.
Yeah, Christ, imagine a
By
stage with
being
like
in the room.
Jiwon, Yeon, Sabon, like Chanmi, like no. Have none of that. I don't even speak that into existence. Obviously, yeah, it's a shame, but hopefully, it just means because they're getting ready to conquer Billboard
I
with
have
the
a
next
pick
comeback.
who would have been really good, I feel like. Joe
Okay.
Yuri.
I mean, we have the same issue, right?
I
That she would have been
understand the issue
but
of like she could have
yeah,
just been a shoo-in, but I just
she would have
feel
been.
like she's in a bit of a weird place, I guess you'd say,
Hmm.
compared to the other Eyes One soloists and stuff. Or like I kind of feel like it could have been a good thing for her, like just being more out there still, like I guess you'd say, or
Yeah, you
something.
know what I mean? Yeah. If you're worried that she's maybe fading a bit, needs something to put her back into a
I just am
spotlight.
thinking of
Yeah.
how popular like Yena and Unbi's solos seem to be and stuff.
Mm.
Yena especially, I just feel like blew up huge in her solo stuff and things like that.
Yenna and Yuri are doing much of the same circuits and stuff, like a lot of the same kind of
Are
festivals
they?
and stuff.
Maybe
You
I'm
see
just
them
not
popping.
seeing how like big Yuri is and
Yeah,
stuff.
like Yuri's like, but she's doing just fine over here. So
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
don't
She's
get that.
just so good that
Right.
like, and her vocals are so like awesome and unique to me. So I just really kind of like am hoping she's doing like really well in the
Right.
solo stuff, because
Yeah. I guess if there's some people like I would have wanted to have been in there. I guess the usual thing of girls who've like been in groups that have kind of disbanded early, and we've like I ended up missing them for whatever reason. Would have been cool to see some of them in here, like some of the girls from Bandit, or even like Pristin or something like that. Would have been kind of cool to see turning up for this.
if we're doing
Um,
Nugu picks, Chase Soul and Chloe should have been in the show and cleared.
well, there was a lot of talk, a lot of suspicions that G1 was going to be in it because you could spell. Obviously, it turned out there is a G1 in it, but it's a different G1.
Yeah.
Um, but to be honest, I don't think the signature members individually, I don't think any of them have a hugely strong talent that they would do so well
Yeah,
on a
Chase
show like
Soul's the
this.
nation's visual. Okay, she just.
She she is, yeah, and maybe Chesel could have gotten in on visual power alone, just shocking everyone. I mean, Chesel's got a great
She's got
voice,
a
but
great
it's not
singing
like
voice,
a
yeah.
powerful singer. She's not like a powerful singer. She's a very nice color.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think Signature are very are good because they're very well rounded as a group, but individually, I'm not sure who would have been. Like Chloe can't dance. I'm sorry, Chloe. I love you, but I've seen you, especially when you're like in the back. I've seen you, girl. Your mind is elsewhere. You're just there, like, oh, what's the next move in the career? You've got no like. I'm just ragging on Chloe now. I'm sorry, Chloe. Please don't
Don't
get
be
mad.
my bias wrecker. This is what.
No, like she knows this comes from a place of love, but she needs to improve on her dance skills. She'd want to be on a show like this. Either way, I don't think this is necessarily what she'd want to do, but she's doing cool variety shows and challenging people and using her brain and whatnot. Um, I mean, I don't know, but either way, I think I'm honestly very happy with the lineup as it is. I think it's got a cool mix of like girls who are young, but their groups are gone and they need a chance to come back into the spotlight. So that I'm going to call hags, regardless of their age. It's got like groups who are like established, but like the individual member could use a bump, and then you've got a couple of like unknowns or nugus or like rookies that can show off what they're made of. I think it's a really cool mix.
Yeah, the lineup doesn't have anyone so famous that it's just like, oh, they're gonna sweep the
That
everyone.
would have been Cheon, I think.
Yeah,
If she,
Cheon. I guess in retrospect, I just would have loved to have seen it, but
it would have been cool, yeah.
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 But in retrospect, yeah, she would have definitely been so easily in the final lineup that people throughout the show would have been like, well, Taeyeon's in, or something, like. I guess
Taeyeon's
Yordam
gonna be like,
could.
the final member is me. I'm doing it.
I guess Yordam could end up being like that.
I think she's gonna ride like the WJSN members tend to. Oh, WJSN members. I don't think members are gonna give a shit. Well, maybe they will, but Ujongs tend to come out and vote pretty hard. So
well, yeah, they won
again,
Queendom too.
Well, they won
Queendom.
And obviously, and in Girls Reverse, Subin and Luda are both were in the top 5 for that. So yeah, I think she's probably the closest thing to a shoe. I hope that by now Bora has picked up enough fans, especially after Girls Planet, that she will be close to a shoe-in because she deserves to be. But the rest is pretty up in the air, I think. So.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens.
So, as we said at the start of the episode, you're coming to Korea for a whole week.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd give some advice, and then I thought we should test your Korean reading ability, of which you may need a little bit.
Yeah,
probably not too much, but you may need it a little bit. So obviously, the first thing anyone should do is, if you don't have already, is to download Papago, because that app is a godsend. Naver's translation app, because you can take a picture of any sign or whatever, and it will translate it, which is extremely useful. But obviously, you don't want to be that guy taking a picture of everything you see. You want to be trying to read stuff yourself, so we can test you. But some general advice, and this can apply to anyone who's looking at coming to Korea. First things first, bring some cash, and like a decent amount of it. You're not going to get robbed, so don't worry about that. Like, you can just leave your stuff hanging out in a bar or whatever, and no one's going to touch it. It's fine. But because a lot of places don't take foreign cards, and places that do will charge like a shit ton to use it. So have a good wad of cash available at all times. Where as soon as you get to an airport, some dude is going to slide up to you all easy, like he's like, hey, you want a premium taxi ride? This does mean what he says it is. It's a premium taxi ride. It's not a euphemism, but it's going to be like 3 times the price of a normal taxi. So don't say yes. Go to the normal taxi place. Get a normal taxi. Now the guys, yeah, they're not dodgy. They're just trying to make some money. So yeah, be very careful about which places you go in. Look carefully at the signs, and this is where reading Korean will come in handy, because you'll see noraebang, karaoke singing room, right? Cool. But noraeba is has some other implications, in that, you know, you might go there and sing a song, and you know, a 50-year-old Chinese woman might try to suck your dick, and that's not necessarily what you want. Maybe it is what you want, I don't know. But
I just wasn't expecting that second half of the sentence.
So yeah, it's equally massage places may or may not offer massages, kind of thing.
Definitely learn how to read the difference between those two. Gotcha.
You can normally tell, and some of them, they'll sometimes be called something like honey noreba or something. So like, and then it'll there'll be like women posing suggestively with the mic and stuff. So you can kind of get a gist of what's what. But
that makes sense.
I have inadvertently gone into a brothel before, thinking, me and my buddy just being like, hey, we want to sing some songs, and then like the owner being like, you just want to sing songs, and then having to clear the women out of the room, like, get out of here, you two, get. So yeah, anyway. I guess nothing else you need to really be aware of coming here. There will be a lot of bugs at this time of year, so like bear that in mind. And a lot of popular places are going to have very long queues, because Koreans are very particular about getting somewhere early and queuing and making sure that their names are on the thing and all that. It's kind of hard to just turn up to places. Yeah. So you got to kind of bear that in mind. And also don't worry about shouting at restaurant staff or people in bars. Don't come in. So you'll come in and there's no like dude, you know, like you go to a restaurant in the West and there'll be someone at the front and be like, hi, welcome to Kisnose or whatever.
Yeah. A receptionist.
And they'll sit you down and everything. Nah, you just walk in and someone might see you and say, hey, yeah, you can sit there. Or you just walk in and sit down and just do it yourself. And in which case, like, there's only a little bell you can press, but if there's not, especially if you're in like an old place, you just got to shout at the person who works there, which is very uncomfortable, and I hate it. Like every fiber of my British being is against the idea of being like,
shouting here at the staff to pay attention.
It's completely normal and like encouraged. So like, you kind of have to just get over it.
Yeah, that would be like normally such a rude thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Super rude. And equally, don't tip. Tipping is considered to be rude. So, so don't do that.
That's a bit similar to when I was in Japan and I wasn't supposed to tip or anything like that too. Okay.
Yeah. Same deal. That's pretty much it. Are there any burning questions you have? Any curiosity?
No, I figured a lot of the stuff, since I'll actually be meeting up with you there, you'll be able to help anything that's like extremely confusing. I know the hardest part in Japan was like using the subway.
Okay.
Using the train system was quite confusing.
This having done the subway in Japan and in Tokyo and in Seoul, the Seoul one is much easier to understand.
Okay.
Like Japan's one, especially in some of the bigger stations, you're like, oh my god, where am I going?
Connecting lines would be like, you got to connect to the Yamato line to connect to this line. It's all like, wait, what?
You look at the map, and you're just like, your brain is like, what am I looking at? The Seoul one is a lot more easy to understand, but it's harder to connect to some line. Like sometimes you have to go quite a roundabout way to easily connect, so you've got to kind of bear that in mind. It's cheap as piss though, which is great, and there's Wi-Fi and everything on all the trains. You can get, I'll show you how to get these little like a card that you can put money on and just use that as like a little, you just beep it and go in.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you
mean. Rather than having to buy a ticket every time. Taxis are pretty good, but some of them won't pick you up because you're foreign, so you just kind of have to.
That was a similar problem. That was a problem I ran into in Japan. Sometimes they would, and sometimes they'd be like, please get out of my taxi. Like, like, I don't want to take you where you're going. Like that.
Yeah, and sometimes if you're going too far, they don't much care for that either. They just want to stay in an area. So sometimes I'll get in and be like, hey, can I go here? And they're just like, no, get out.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Is there kind of a thing? Yeah. So some places in Japan just don't let foreigners in.
Yeah.
So similar thing in Korea, like you'll go in a bar or a restaurant and they'll just be like, please leave. Like, or like, no, like.
Yes, but it's not very common. There's a few places where you might see a no foreigners sign, but it's not very common. And sometimes it's no foreign men. Women are fine. But yeah, it's not very common. Not normally you see it. Sometimes there'll be like dress code restrictions. Like you got to be like suited up or like looking at least
you gotta be dressed up
moderately respectful in order to go into some places. But those are like in like Apgujeong or Gangnam areas, like where it's a bit more high end.
Yeah.
But generally, most places are extremely accommodating to foreigners and stuff. So won't have problems. People might struggle with English, but they'll try their best.
That's fine. I mean, it's my fault for not knowing how to speak the local language. So
yeah, but hopefully by the end of this, you'll know how to read the names of different idols in groups. Very
the hardest part is I've had no time to study Hangeul.
You've had plenty of time.
No, I mean in this month, like leading up, because moving and everything. I tell
my students, I didn't have any time. Yeah, you had time to play video games, didn't you?
I had no internet. I couldn't play video games.
Tragic.
I know, dude. Living like 3 days without internet is like, you realize how dependent you are upon the internet in your life. You're like, oh my god.
Did you get to that stage where you're like, wait, I should be thinking of farming and war? Did your original instincts that have been suppressed by technology?
I suddenly was super productive.
You're like, I need to sire an heir.
I was reading a book and working out. It was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Suddenly, I mean, you might start thinking about stuff.
Yeah.
Hate that.
I guess I should start then, right?
Okay, yeah. Let's go. So
Let me open up my little guide, my Hangeul 101 over here, so I can help myself when I don't know. It's gonna take me a bit because I have to read through them to like help myself.
Yeah, so we've got a quality up. 여자 아이돌 이상현 World Cup round of 32 here. So female idols World Cup.
And what we have here is Sonia Shide Tiffany.
Tipani. We
Tiffany,
don't have
so
F.
it's like a P.
We have no F sound.
Tiffany.
Yeah, we have no F. There's no
and
F sound.
And then we have Rocket Punchy, right?
Rocket Punchy.
Rocket Punchy.
Yeah.
Judy.
Yeah.
Do they say Judy like Judy?
Yeah, Judy. We have no there's no like I mentioned before, like you have to end even a word that ends with a consonant sound in English. It has to be paired with a vowel in Korean. So they often would.
It's just if I'm gonna end up going oo or e on a bunch of them and switching those.
Well, it's easy enough that e is vertical and I is horizontal, and it's almost always those ones that are added.
Okay, the e is vertical.
The I e sound, you know.
Okay, so like this is e then.
It's I but e sound.
And this is oo. Oh, okay. I'll be able to recognize that a lot better now. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not that hard actually. If it's that simplified.
Like, it's really quite simple.
I'm going with Judy.
We're picking jury. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is also fun to see. Oh! Sorry. That's my reaction anytime I see any nature member.
The left.
First of all, do you recognize who's on the left, or you're gonna have to read it?
I do. It's a Luna member, right?
No. We were talking about her earlier.
Chain.
Try and read it. Don't just guess the name.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm going through because there's the O on top is what's confusing me.
So that means there's no. So when you have the O on the top, and then you have so this is U, like this one is U, like U sound, and when you put an O on above it, it means that there's no other sound that goes with it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you pair this one, and it turns into
that's
W
E,
sound,
right?
So it's we.
What is it?
We.
Dude, okay, I know who this is on the left. Like visually, I know who that is.
So we got the first one. So
I'm gonna go by. I'm not gonna go by group name, but I'm gonna try and go by her actual like artist name. So I'm finding that first one. I'm not finding in the alphabet though, so I have to connect it in the alphabet. Is the tricky part, right?
Okay.
So
first we got the square.
Yo is the part that's this, right? Or no, because it's got two lines.
Yeah, just one line, so it's just
Yeah, it's just the E. And then that other connecting line is an interesting one because that's a D connecting to.
So what's the first character? Or the first letter?
The square. The bottom is N, right?
The square is M.
M.
So M N mun.
Mun.
So mun is the first letter. Then you said correctly. This one is D.
And then that connecting line right there is.
The two lines with one horizontal jut is just the sound.
Yeah. Monday.
E. Monday. E.
Oh, it's Monday from Weekly.
Weekly.
I know I recognized her so much, but the hair color was making me think it was a Luna member because I don't remember Monday having like like pink hair. I would remember pink hair Monday, I feel like quite a bit. Dude, I'm like looking at her face like I know this person so well. I'm sorry, Logan's gonna like literally murder me for this one.
Logan's very screaming.
I know, dude. I'm looking at the eyes, like I know who this is. Like this face is like so distinct, you know.
Yeah.
Monday. So Weekly. Okay, that's how Weekly.
The first part was we, and then we have the k, weekly.
And because it's an E, because the end is standing up like this, so Weekly, Monday.
Monday.
Monday. They say Monday like Monday then? Like Monday?
Monday.
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 Okay.
Yeah. And then on the right, who do we have?
That's the nature. I know that.
Yeah. Neito.
Nature. I know the nature pronunciation because I learned it. Nature.
Neito. Yeah. I mean, you can
Nature.
see that the Monday and nei are the same sounds, right? It's just instead of duh, it's no. So
So as
it's the same
far
e
as
and I pairing.
nature, this is gonna take so much longer than I thought because I'm so bad at this. that
We
first
can skim through it.
that first emblem is like the cha one, but hers isn't cha because it has the different ending right there, right?
Yeah, so two lines with one line in the middle is a e a.
It's che. I know her name. Why am I blanking on it? So that's ch in the beginning, and then
CHAE. Che.
che, and then what is the upside down thing?
It's but.
Uh, Chebol or Chebom?
No, I read it. We've got that I sound and
N.
then n.
Oh my god, I know her name. Why is it now that I can't do
Look,
the
you've
name?
got the word that you've got it in front of you, so you can read it. Don't just try and remember.
I know. I don't. Just
I
pull
say
it
this
from,
to my students all the
don't
time.
just pull it from memory. Yeah.
Don't auto complete.
CHAE, and then the upside down one is the one that's confusing me.
That's B. J B. No.
And then che. So CHAE, right? B, and then we have N.
B. Read it. Remember, left to right and then top to bottom. So BIN.
Chabin.
Bin.
Chabin. Okay, that's right. So CHAE B, then you have the I, and the N is the final at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that.
Baby.
The N is really easy for me to remember, as is like the CH emblem because of like the Chair Young name and things like that. But the
CH just looks like guy T-posing.
Yeah. And Taeyeon's name is like really easy for me to remember the look of because she has like an EH in the beginning of it essentially that connects to that like O double slash thing with the N at the end. I think I remember N so well because I remember Taeyeon's Hangeul look.
I think as soon as you got a couple of them that you can kind of remember from easily, then you can use them.
I feel like I could just hear Ava and Logan screaming as I'm doing this. Okay. On the left is Bona.
Correct.
On the right is going to be who I need to figure out.
Okay.
So let me look at that.
Let's figure it out. So, well, first of all, we can do. So you know Bona already, so you can see the B and the O, right?
Yeah.
And then N and A. It's really simple.
Yeah, the NA is easy to recognize. The BO is interesting. It looks like a field goal post from an NFL.
Yeah. So as from Chabin, B is the one which is like the square with the halfway line, right?
Yeah.
And then the O is this. You know.
Sorry, let me pull up this because I was in the other screen. Let me see.
Yeah.
You like do that again with your hand? Okay.
U is that way around and O is that way around.
I need to remember to switch to this tab from the other one when I'm first looking at the name.
And then the group name we have is Wu. So Sonyo is the same from Sonyo Shide, right? So girl, Wuju is universe, so cosmic girls.
Cosmic girls. But WJSN is like the abbreviation we get of it.
Yeah. Wuju Sonyo.
Wuju Sonyo. So WJSN. S is the first letter of this person on the right.
Yes, of her name, yeah.
And then we have is that Io?
Oh, yeah, Io. Oh. So
and then So I have so far, and then I read
Yeah.
top to bottom on that next part.
So
So
left to right first,
left to
and
right
then
first. Yeah,
so
yeah.
so it's the same as the first one, but with 2 lines, so you know it's.
I'm trying to find that one weird character there that I.
So it looks a little different because they shape it differently because it has the at the bottom. So it would actually be more straight. So it's the g sound. It's like the G sound.
So good.
So it's more like you say it. It's similar to a k, but you say it in the back of your throat. You don't have to write too much for this. So it's like gyung, g.
Good. So good. Like
Young,
the.
young,
So,
young.
and then
So
that double line is yeah. No, because it's one line.
Yeah.
Damn it! I need to be able to pick this out faster. My brain is like getting stumped on the one and double lines a lot. So SEOG is what I have so far, right?
Yeah, it's the same character as the one as in Taeyeon. It's ya.
Yeah.
So
But it
gyung.
just looks different because of the
The G is the one which changes the shape. Yeah.
Sogyeong. Sogyeong.
So you simply might just not know who she is.
I don't know who that is.
So the group name, I'll read it to you, is Gongwon. Gongwon means park. Sonyo, girl in the park. Sokyoung. This is Sokyoung from GWSN.
Oh, I should. It's GWSN. I should have known a member of GWSN, but she just wasn't familiar to me like the other members.
Sorry.
This one making you laugh too. Dude, why am I getting hard ones where I can't like recognize the idols?
I think it's everything I wanted. Because this one doesn't discriminate.
Okay, this person literally has like the same beginning, the G in the beginning of their name on the left.
Yeah.
And that's a, right? Like the E.
It's I again.
E.
It's a sound, yeah.
Yeah, like a sound. So get.
Yeah. That is one of the most common surnames ever. That's Kim.
Kim.
Yeah, Kim.
So why does the person on both these people look really familiar to me?
So well, one of them you've literally spoken to, so I'll give you that.
Okay, so on the right is G1.
Is G1, yes.
Yeah, on the right is G1. That's from from Signature. So that's Signature spelt out.
Signature.
Signature.
So
Signature. Signature.
Same. So obviously, because we have nature and signature are spelled the same for us, right?
Yeah.
But they're pronounced a little bit differently. So it's nito, right? We don't say signature, we say signature. So they write it like that. Nito. The cho is the same, and then it's ni instead of ne, right? And then sig.
Because that first word is S, right? That first letter, but it's
wishbone.
Why do we get it C in English?
Because we pronounce the C as an S sound. They wanted to write it like that.
Oh, okay.
Rather than an S. Yeah, it's just stylized.
The left is Kepler, right?
Yes, Kepler.
Okay. I could tell that was Kepler, like member. I was trying to read Kepler. So that's K in the beginning.
We got Kim, and then we have.
That's Daeyeon from Kepler.
Yeah, Kim Da-yeon.
Kim Daeyeon.
So Yeon, obviously.
So it's her full name written out. Kim Daeyeon.
Kim Daeyeon.
Okay, yes. So that's Kim. That would be Taeyeon's beginning half. Kim Taeyeon.
Kim Taeyeon. Yes, actually, it's almost the only character the only letter that's different is Da, right? Instead of Da, it would be Tae, and then it's exactly the same.
It's the same thing, just with one difference. Yeah.
Kim Daeyeon instead of Kim Taeyeon.
Yeah. Well, I could tell it was Daeyeon because of the N is like a big giveaway.
Yeah.
For me.
If it was Wikimeki Doyeon, it would be Kim Doyeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just change one letter. Let's go, Juwon.
Okay, so
they didn't bother Hangulizing
Stacy, but I know that's Sumin and that's Gaul on the right. But let me try figuring out Sumin. has the S, which is easy to recognize now. The
It sometimes kind of changes how wide it is depending on where it is in the letter,
yeah,
but
but
it's always the same kind of wishbony looking
whatever's
shape.
below it changes the size of it.
Yeah.
The S is really easy to recognize now, as is the N is always very easy.
Okay.
So the su like the U part, so that's just U, right? That
It's U, but it's like a double O, like how we have double O to make
is that
U sometimes.
you always like that? Like it's
Yeah.
just psh, psh. So that's pretty
Yeah.
easy then. So su
Yeah. You just have to remember
so
when
Sun
it's.
Mi has that in the beginning then too.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is Min to Min.
Su Min. So the M
Yep.
is a square. Okay.
Yep.
I see that. Okay. Hers is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't have like know who she is, I feel like hers is actually pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah.
Like looking at the alphabet, like maybe that's because I
Easy
already
one.
know
To
who
Min.
she is.
Yeah. But
But the I is literally I.
yeah.
Yeah, that's easy.
To
So
Min.
zoom in.
But
Hers
you
is
see, you've just seen that one character can be different ways, because like the same way that I is pronounced differently in English, it can be I or I or E. So it does kind of change situationally. That's one thing.
dude. Hers is easy to like spell looking through the alphabet though. On the
Yes,
left, like
it
that
is.
seems way easier. Gaul. So I recognize G now as that like emblem. Okay.
Got it's the same as in Sogyeong,
So
right?
G
It's like
like normal
uh,
looks like this, but when it's in someone's name, it does like
it curves
a
it. Yeah,
curve. And A is easy to recognize. So
yeah.
EU is what that one emblem
So,
is.
so remember at the start we said how this is I and then this is
Hmm.
So we have in the middle. Remember when we have circle first, we don't say the sound, so you just ignore it.
Just ignore
So
it.
you just so you just look at the and then ga
Okay, and then that's the bottom thing is the L part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
And then how is I've written? You can see how there's no V sound in Korean, right? So we
Yeah,
have to use B.
and it has the O two times, right? In there.
Yeah, so it's I bu.
I've.
We don't have v. We have to use b. I bu.
Is that why they go
I bu gal.
dive when they yell the fandom name?
I bu. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I've and then Stacy's just Stacy, I
Yeah.
guess.
Apparently, they probably do have a. They probably do have a hilarious like Hangeulization. But
I'm trying to read because that's an. I thought that was an A in the spelling of I've.
it is.
It is okay.
Yeah. It's I bu.
But that's just telling you you're saying it that way, even though it's spelt in romanization like IVE.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. That
Because
makes
when normally, if you just had the circle and the lines, just the I, it would be said E. But if you put the A in front of it, it becomes I. So it makes that longer sound.
I guess EXID also does not have a. That's the Machne from EXID, right?
Yeah, I've seen EXID's Korean and it looks it's like EXID. It's like yeah,
On the
hilarious.
right is Girls' Day.
Yes.
Hyeri.
So again, from Monday, you can see the same day at the end, right? Day. So gosu,
Girls'
like
Day.
gosu day.
And then because this is standing up, it's Day. Right?
Yeah.
And then. Okay, so I know Hyeri's name, so I'll try to do the left name.
Yeah.
So that's not S, that's because it has the top line, so that's J.
Yeah.
And then the other one would not be A. What's that when it's facing the other direction? J.
Circle at the end is the NG.
Jung.
Jong.
Oh, the
So
end is an A. Is it Jung-ah?
Jonghwa.
Jung-hwa. Okay.
Yes, we have the H, same H. The top hat is H, right? With the circle on the top hat is H. So the same way it's Hyeri is Hwa.
Okay.
This one's a little bit harder to remember,
Zhenghua.
especially yeah. We have an
Zhenghua.
O and an A,
So
and
if
it's
the A
with
is
the
at the
H.
end, you kind of like scoop that up.
No, it's because it's with the H.
Because it's with the H, it scoops up like that. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like Zhenghua.
Otherwise, it could be like ah.
Oh, okay, because
But
like Chunga is like.
the it, the no Chungha is still like ha.
Oh,
It's
because
not
that still
hua.
has H. Yeah, that was a bad
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
That
Terrible
was like the worst example I could have chosen.
Yeah, but because H and O together makes it's not like that with A. It turns it into a hua sound rather than a ho sound. Okay,
I know who both these people are, obviously.
as you should.
Yes. I have Jisun on the right from S9. I have
Which is
Shion on the left from Dreamcatcher.
yeah.
So how do
So
you say dream? Let me think. I know.
okay.
Let me think. Let me think about, because the end is the. Give me a second. Oh man, I should know how to say it right. Dorim.
Durim. Same as how Kepler was written. Oh no, it's not quite the same as how Kepler was written.
Dorim
Okay.
Ketchia? Like,
Dream Keto. Dream Keto.
Dorim
Yeah.
Ketchia. Okay. Dorim Ketchia. Dorim Ketchia.
Mm.
It's almost like I
That is-
have to break my brain to say
Look, you have to think in a different language.
Darim Ketcha. No, but you know, like, because I want to say dream so badly, but
Right,
Darim
you go
Ketcha.
dr. Yeah, it almost doesn't make sense how in English we say dr like dr rather than
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like
Um,
untraining years of
yeah,
saying something.
exactly.
Yeah. Darim Ketcha.
Kitso,
Darim Ketcha.
yon. The yon obviously is the same that we saw in
It's
Dayon
yo
before.
at the end, right?
Yeah, yon.
Darim Ketcha.
This, oh yeah, yeah. Cho. The cho sound is the same as neito and signature.
Darim Ketcha.
Exactly the same.
Darim
Cho.
Ketcha. Shion. So I see the S, I see the I, and then the yo is like Taeyon's yo right there. Yun, Shion.
Yeah.
Where's the H sound coming from?
Just when you have S at the start, it said sh.
It's sh. So Shion's is actually pretty easy to spell then.
Yeah, and unless it's specifically some foreign word which doesn't pronounce it like that, usually always you just say sh.
So Jisun's name looks short. I see the Jisun. Yep. Like that's named like that Jisun.
Yeah, Jisun.
Her name is super easy. Like I could recognize that one from the letters really easily.
It's just as well that it doesn't have her first name, because her first name is written N-O, but it's pronounced Ro.
That would have just confused me. So from S9 looks
old
really confusing to me to spell.
So this is because it's an anglicized thing. So it's actually the word promise. It's promise.
Promise 9.
Promise 9.
Okay, so it's not even the romanized word.
Because again, there's no F, so they have to use P. So that is the meaning of promise 9, is that they promise to be 9.
Promise.
But
that worked.
Yeah, promise 9.
So both these names to me are really easy, even if I didn't know them, to do from the alphabet, because the J, I, S, U, N are so distinctly separated. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, promise is like all of those words are just 2 characters, so it's pretty easy.
But if you had asked me to spell promise 9 from the alphabet, I think that would have been tricky for me, just for some of it. Like, especially because I would have been trying to find F in the beginning, not knowing that it's like promise.
You already have to just forget that there's no F and there's no V. Like,
I'm sorry, Blueberry, but Jason's like, oof. My God.
Okay. This is a throwback. This picture, Jesus Christ.
Let's Jeez. On the left is Sohyun.
Sohyun, yeah.
Sohyun, right?
Yeah.
So it's Sonia Shide.
Yeah.
Let me try and figure out Sonia Shide really quick. So that's S O, and then N is just made
Yeah.
bigger because of the next letter, right?
Yeah.
And then that's like I, but it has something connecting to make it
It's
or whatever.
no, it's like oh, but it has two lines, so it becomes yo.
Yeah,
Son yo.
she, and then S is just pronounced she with
She.
the SI
Yeah. Day.
de. Okay.
DAE.
DA. Okay, that makes sense because now I see that double line as the A
Yeah.
thing on here in the alphabet. That makes sense. It's starting to click with me again.
Yeah. But once
It's
you do it
way
a few times,
easier
it's like
because you can explain the confusing things, whereas if I'm doing it on my own looking at it, and my brain just goes and
yeah.
closes down, it's like
Yeah, yeah. I think every instinct of your brain is like, we don't comprehend this. Run away.
yeah, it's like hold up.
How my British brain is like, how can I civilize this and make it English?
Yeah, how can I colonize this
Where can I? Where does the colonization start? I don't understand.
O, but it's looks like the top letter there, but it's the hat, so it's H.
Yeah, so yeah, so yeah.
No, I meant the right. I was looking
Oh, in the
at.
right. Ah, okay.
That's
So
O
yeah,
on the top, but it's a hat, so it's H.
so it's yeah, but it's remember the hat and the circle together are H, not just the hat.
Okay.
All together is
All
one
together is
character.
H, so that's H.
And then it's the two lines and one up at the bottom is one other character.
Okay, I'm trying to find that character. Yo.
Yes.
Hyo.
And then
The
the
square.
same as in Sumin.
M. Oh, it's Hyomin.
Hyomin from
Hyomin, because then there's IN.
Tiara.
Tiara.
Yeah.
Oh, T is
easy.
the E. That's easy for me because that's
Remember the same.
Taeyeon.
Remember the
E.
same as Tipani at the start.
Yeah.
Tiara.
Well, and then Taeyeon has the E to double
Yeah.
line. Hyomin's easy too. Once the H Hyo part's the hardest for me to read, but the MIN's super easy to read because the M is
Hyomin.
the Hyomin. Oof.
No, it's not a hugely common character. I mean, you'll see if Hyoyeon comes up, it'd be the same. But, yeah. Oh, okay.
Is
So
on the
left we have
guy
the same character twice, so you can read it.
Same character twice. Oh,
In her name.
oh, that's Mimi from Oh My Girl.
Mimi, oh my girl.
Oh my girl.
You remember girl from Girls' Day? Is it oh my girl?
So the girl in
Mimi.
that, even though it has the girl, doesn't sound like harshly pronounced. It's like oh my girl.
Yeah.
But not without like the like overly pronounced at the end.
Okay. Well, L is the last character. So oh my girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mimi. Mimi's easy to read.
Yeah. Nice and easy.
Mimi. On the right. So I know the second one is INA. INA is the from second letter of her name. Well, the first letter is the one I need to figure out. So that's L/R. So Rena or Lena?
Rena. Yeah.
Rena.
Rena.
Okay, that one's easy to figure out. Rena. And then that
So the first character in the name is the same as in weekly. So we.
Oh, she's from Weekly Rena.
No, she's not from Weekly, but it's the same spelling as the first one. So we, ki, me, same as Mimi, me, ki, Wiki Mickey.
Oh, she's Wiki Mickey's Rena. God damn it! I know. Okay, Rena from Wiki Mickey. Okay. Oh my god, I said her name and I know like who she, like then it clicked for me, but oh my god, I'm sorry. I love Wiki Mickey too. I can't believe I didn't get that right away.
You say it, you vote for Mimi.
Yeah, well, I just like Mimi a little bit more.
Wow.
Okay, so SIH.
You should know who
N
this
is the last, but what's the double?
Think about when we just read from Girls' Generation. The name is almost the same except for one character difference.
Sorry, I'm
We
just
had
looking for that double line.
it's the same
Yo.
as in same yo as in Taeyeon and
Oh my god, that's Everglow.
yeah,
Xian, right? So
she
that's
she
Xian.
yeah. Yes,
Everglow
so
Xian. Everglow Xian.
Epoklo.
Everglow. And
Epoklo.
you say Xian like Xian, right?
Yeah, Shihan.
Xian.
But I think she says it very quickly, like
Just
Xian.
spelled out Xian's name letter by letter and still like had to let that click in my head. That's so stupid. I literally went like SIH and then N is at the end and was like just looking for the yo and like okay, so let me think now.
The one on the right, I don't think you'll know her, but
It's
you'll know.
GA
Uh,
um GAR or L
mhm.
GA and then IN.
Yeah, Karin. Karin.
Godin. Is it R or L in this case? Godin or
Um,
Galin or like
you can say as a kind of catch-all rule. You can
same
say
pronunciation kind of like Galin.
yeah. So the kind of catch-all rule is that you can say R sound if it's the first symbol and L sound if it's the last. It doesn't always work that way, but generally you can say it like that. So Garin.
Interestingly enough, this is actually a good way to learn the alphabet.
Yeah.
The idol names.
That's why I decided
no,
to do
no, no,
this.
the idol names because you would think in context you'd be like, oh, it's like reading idol names, but it actually does help me learn. Like I'm starting to learn some of these letters to memory, like a lot.
When you see the same ones appearing multiple times, you're like, oh yeah, that's like that. And
Who
you
is
see.
she on the right?
So if you read the group name, it's Ellis.
Elvis.
So Elris or Alice, it's the same group, and the Hangeul is written the same way, but they
they're not
changed the
Elvis anymore. The
Alice. Alice.
Alice.
It's exactly the same spelling. They didn't change it.
Alice.
It's very
Okay.
clever. Yeah, Alice Garin. So Garin
Alice.
from Alice.
Got it. Okay. Oh, so see, I'm sorry. So he is just the one from that group that
I said you would know the group, but I didn't you'd know the member.
Yeah. Okay, so come on, the greatest smile in the world. Come on, bro.
Two absolute powerhouse vocals. Yeah.
Yeah, on the right is familiar looking to me. I just can't. I'm gonna try reading the right name. That's S.
The name spelling you'll see in a lot from other
Yo-en.
girls.
So what's the before the Yo-en is that O? Soyeon?
Yeah.
Soyeon? So the group name's what I gotta figure out, which is
what Soyeon is it?
yeah. Well, it's not G Idol. I know that. So the group's beginning letter is either L or R. A. Then what's the upside down? A is B. So we have LAB Laboom or something. Laboom Soyeon. Okay.
Soyeon from Laboom. Yeah.
Okay. Well, come on, we all
leader main vocalist of Laboom. And then,
oh
my god, again.
Do you need me to tell you who I'm gonna pick in this case?
No, but you can see the name for Hyojung, right? How it's written. Hyo the same as in Hyomin, and Dong
the
same
hat
as
is
in
kind of
Jong.
easy to recognize for my H's showing up, and the J's an easy one to read, and then some of those are easy to pick out. Hyojung's smile could save the world. We've all talked about this.
Very fair.
Okay, Momo's pretty easy.
Two extremely famous groups here.
Yeah. Lisa's super easy to read too.
Yeah, Lisa, Momo.
Momo's is so simple.
Couldn't be easier, right? But I think Twice is a good example to see the wa in action. So I've talked about when you have the no sound.
How to pronunciate these two. Let me see if I can do it. Just trying to. So there's this at the end. So it's twice. Twice.
It's like twice because we have wa, right? The same, like
twice.
Instead of earlier we had hua. Here we just have wa. So wa twice.
Twice.
There's an
So do
I
you think a Korean,
twice.
if I said twice, would kind of
They
be
would
like,
know. Yeah, they'd know because twice are famous.
cause,
But
but if I said twice, so they'd know like right away what I'm.
yeah,
Yeah.
twice. Yeah,
Blackopink,
yeah. Ricky Pink, Ricky
Blackopink.
Pink,
I don't want
Ricky
to like
Pink.
say it in a way where I'm like wrong, but I
Black.
feel like it's Blackopink,
So yeah, so
right?
black.
It's Blackopink,
Black is ek. A-I-A-E.
Black
Black. Black pink.
Blackopink.
And you'll see people say like black hair, meaning like black hair. Like black is a word is like a loan word that's used all the time.
I feel like
Same as pink. Yeah.
a name like
They both
Lisa
use
would just be pronounced like Lisa.
Lisa. Yeah.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have people who are like Lisa.
yeah. Like over the top. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Except for the case of Ariyoshi Risa from Produce, but
Oh, this is a hard one.
yeah, can you pick Lisa? Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, Oogie and Ning Ning. Ning Ning's pretty easy there. Ning Ning's
The double ones
one.
are nice and easy.
So Espa has the O before the A. The I is an E, like S.
S.
So that line is P.
The like,
line under
little...
S.
No, that's I.
Espa.
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 Because you can't have the S by itself, right? It has to be with the vowel.
Okay, and I see P is that like
yeah.
double kind of line thing. Although in the alphabet, is the P the lines connected at the top or it's separated?
It's the whole thing.
It's the whole thing.
And you might see it written. When I write it in by hand, I just connect them. So.
Okay, gotcha.
I think there's meant to be a space because otherwise people might get confused that it looks like yo. But
so they say Espa.
Yeah.
And then the left, I know Oogie is pretty easy there. That's pretty easy one. But
they skipped out the bracket, so it's just idol instead of G idol or Yodza.
They don't say G idol. It's idol. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you wanted to see that, it would be how it's written at the top. So next to up at the very top is Yodza, means girl. So Yodza and then idol like that is Oogie.
Jisoo. Wow, Jisoo's is a easy one.
Yeah, Jisoo.
Super. Then we already went over Blackpink.
Yeah. And we have another repeat from Girls' Day.
Girls' Day, yeah. So that's S. I see a J-I-N in there. So I just need to figure out that one letter. Sojin?
Yeah.
Sojin.
Yeah.
She's really pretty.
Yeah, she's
she's giving me like uni vibes.
This her eyes kind of look like honey a little bit.
How old are the Girls' Day members? She looks like she might be in like 30 or something.
At this point, I'll tell you when you come here, you're gonna see Hyeri has been on these ads all over the subway.
Hyeri's everywhere.
You see her on these subways. Yeah, she's 37. She's
Woo!
Mommy. I know you like an older woman.
Sorry, Jisoo. When I heard she's 37, Oof. You lost.
You go, Megan.
AOA, is that the member we were talking about? No, because that's S. So that's S. And then O.
Mm-hmm.
So L or R. Silo.
Yeah.
Sol. She's not. That's Solhyun?
Yeah, Solhyun.
That's an interesting picture of Solhyun. I almost didn't recognize her.
Solhyun.
Solhyun.
Yeah.
I almost didn't recognize Solhyun there. On the left, it's so recognizable to me.
So we have Promise 9 again, and we have another name that you've seen already in this so far, but the first letter is one that we had that hasn't come up yet, but another very, very, very common Korean surname.
Unji is the middle there.
The
From
G is the
second
middle, yeah.
Unji.
Just G in the middle. G1, right?
Oh, she's G1 from S9.
But her surname is Park.
Okay, the I was thinking G1. She looked like her in my head, but it wasn't starting with J, so I was like, who?
Yeah,
Who?
Park G1.
Park.
It has a phone.
Park G1. Okay, yeah. What's funny? Okay, yeah. I just talked about G1 in last night's live too. That's funny.
Yeah.
So the middle is where her name I know is starting from.
Yeah, so the
G1.
Korean surnames always come first.
Gotcha.
So Park Ji, just like JYP is Park. Why am I blanking? Park Jin Young, obviously. Why was I blanking on his name? Okay, last one.
This is a little bit on the right. Looks like a Girls' Day member too.
We have a third Girls' Day member of this.
Yura.
Yura, that's right.
And then on the left, let me see, that O line is the one.
I spoke to this girl 1 week ago, 6 days ago, in fact.
That's Dream Note member.
Yeah, I gave it away. So Dream is the same as in Dreamcatcher, right?
Yeah.
Dream. And then
What's that first letter of her name? Because I see N, but what's the O over the line?
So remember, the line is just and circle is no sound. So
Okay.
So we just read the horizontal
and then J and then Unjo.
Unjo, yeah.
Unjo.
It's Dream Note's magnet.
Okay.
And now you can just play.
Okay, now it's time to.
Yeah,
well, I mean, it's already game over because I already have someone in there who's just too powerful.
People can see.
Yeah. Dude, Hyomin is stunning.
Hyomin's a baddie. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Not really another way to beat about that.
That is just like too much going on. Oh, dude, this is just so different. Because you've got like the purest sunshine in the world and a baddie on the right. Like,
she doesn't mean to be a baddie, I don't think. Mostly.
She is, though. That's the problem. I really like Yura from Girls' Day, actually.
Great laugh.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry, Jody. That's just way too powerful of a lineup for you. Oh! I'm sorry.
Wow. I thought Shion was the shoe-in.
Oof.
You have to think about it.
Let's see. Is this the final?
Wow. There it is.
Giles
takes it.
Just being short hair in my favorite group currently is just like too OP. It's too powerful of a power, you know?
Yeah.
That took way longer than it should have because I'm a dumbass. But
I mean, you can see the way you were starting to get it a lot more.
It's clicking a lot more for me, and now I just need to keep up with it until the trip. And like S, J, N, and like the Hyo sounds and things, I can read those a lot easier now in my brain. Now those are clicking for me. The J, S, I, N's or stuff are so easy to recognize. So now if I just start recognizing the double line ones are where I start kind of getting a little like...
We had some that didn't even come up. So there's that to look forward to.
Once I can figure those out, it'll be a lot easier for me.
Yeah. I think, there's a round of 256 one. You can just play that on
Yeah, just keep playing that game and figure it out. And then what I can do is just text you, like, did I get this correct? Or something.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, you did well. Well done.
Still, I'm sorry about Monday, Logan. Please don't hate me for that. I knew it was someone I knew very well. The eyes should have been a dead giveaway. Like, Monday has very distinct, like, features. but I'm sorry about that. If I had played that later in the game, I would have got it so fast. Like, because the letters were
Yeah.
clicking for me. It was like one of the first ones, so I was like, what is.
I think seeing the way that it's that like A and I get written out, where it's two separate characters, is a bit disconcerting to
Do
deal with
you
at
ever
first.
still, even knowing like the alphabet, will still like try to read something and go like, what the hell, or something?
Yeah, especially when it's like a Hangulization of a long English word. I'm like, the hell is that?
Yeah. It just looks
Uh,
still totally nuts and going on. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. But and now I'm trying to challenge myself when I read Korean to read like really fast, and I still make loads of mistakes, so
Yeah.
don't feel bad.
And right now, it almost feels like putting like Tetris shapes together with letters in my brain. Does that make sense? Kind
A little
of.
bit, yeah.
But I need to just get a lot
It's,
better at recognizing the difference of sizes of the ones I know. Like I know it, but then the different size makes me question
yeah,
myself.
they just change a little bit depending on their position in the character sometimes, which can be annoying.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to some, we didn't get any four character blocks, which can be weird, especially when you have like an S and an H and they're really small.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see how good I am by the time I'm there, keeping up with it and everything.
Yeah.
All right, well, this has been the K-pop podcast. I'm Honan.
I'm Oliver.
Goodbye.